Welcome to Q&A practice, and we're going to get started just with a little two-voice practice. So it'll just be actually the defense attorney questioning the witness. Okay, ready? What did the doctor do for you? He gave me a shot for the pain I had. Did you go to sleep? I don't believe so. What do you next remember happening to you in the hospital? Then they wheeled me into the emergency room. Was some work done on your face at that time? Yes, sir. Were you unconscious when the work was done to your face? Yes, I was. Were you given another shot, or was it the original shot that made you unconscious? Another shot. So you actually don't know what was done to you in the emergency room? No. When was the first time you were actually able to observe your appearance? Probably the next day. Did you sleep through the whole night? To the best of my knowledge. And the next day you woke up and you were in the hospital? Yes. Now, at that time, were you able to observe what your injuries were? Well, I had a large bandage and I was able to feel sutures on my face. Do you know how many sutures were placed in your upper lip? No, I do not. Did you feel or observe any other injury other than the pain that you had by your lip? Well, I had a shoulder. It hurt on my left shoulder and I was bruised. Did you see any bruises? I can't remember for sure. Did you have any bandages on any other part of your body? No. Throughout your stay in the hospital, did you feel any other pain to other parts of your body other than your lip or your chest? Yes, I did. Where was that? In Westchester Community Hospital. What part of your body? My left hip. What did you feel to your left hip? Quite a severe pain. Well, was it a constant pain or an intermittent pain? Well, at first it was constant, and then it was more or less intermittent. By the time you left the Westchester Hospital, did you still continue feeling the pain in your left hip? Yes, I did. Did it seem to be getting better at that time, or was it worse? No, better. During your stay at Westchester, did you feel any other pain other than your hip, your chest, and your upper lip? Yes, I did. What part of your body? My whole body. Did the doctor give you any medicines or any pain pills? They were giving me shots. Do you know what kind of shots? Intravenous. Did you ever suffer an inconvenience as a result of the shots or pills? Yes, I did. In what way? My whole body swelled up bad and the joints froze up. I couldn't even move. I had hives all over me. I also had a rash. You say you had hives all over you. Describe what you mean by that. Red bumps. All over your body? Yes. Do you have any knowledge what these hives and this rash were from? Not definitely, but I never had it before. All right. Little two-voice warm-up. Now we'll do some four-voice. And this will start with the plaintiff. Investigator Jones, how long have you been an investigator with the ABC? Little over 8.5 years. During the course of that work, have you had occasion to conduct narcotics-related investigations, focusing in on the purchase or obtaining illegal narcotics? Yes, I have. How many would you say you've been on? I've done over 70 hand-to-hand undercover transactions. Okay, and that's where you participated in the event itself? Yes. And have you made, I don't know, corresponding number of arrests for those violations? Yes, I've made over 200 narcotics-related arrests. And have you received any special training in that area, illegal drug sales? Yes, I've had over 500 hours of narcotics training, including an 80-hour post-certified course. What kind of course? I'm sorry, POST, P-O-S-T. And what does POST stand for? Police Officer Standards and Training. And have you ever had occasion to testify in court or been that you have been qualified as an expert in this arena? Yes, I've been qualified in LA County and Orange County as an expert as it pertains to methamphetamine, cocaine, ecstasy, and other various drugs. Okay, so let me ask you this. In your fairly recent work as an ABC investigator, did you participate in this investigation that occurred at the business known as the Horseshoe at 5100 West Avenue in Los Angeles? Yes, I did. And what was just the general nature of your investigation there overall? We initially received a complaint for sales of narcotics at the location, and we began an undercover investigation. All right, and during the course of that investigation, did you have occasion to make one or more visits to the premises? Yes. And on one or more of those visits, were you able to obtain narcotics? Yes, I was. Briefly speaking, when you went to the Horseshoe, can you describe what kind of business establishment it is? It's basically a bar. I believe it opened in the early afternoon and stayed open to 2 a.m., and it was a Type 48 license, which is typical bar. Okay, 48 means what can you do? On sale, general license. They can sell all types of alcohol. Okay, with no minors, right? Yes. All right, and why don't we go and speak of some of these? Let me have you focus your attention, if you would, to our first date of interest, which is June 24th, 2006. And let me ask you if on that day you had occasion to go to the Horseshoe. Yes, I did. And when you went there, was that in an undercover capacity? Yes. And who, if anyone, went with you? My partner, Investigator Smither. All right. Spell that for the record, please. Smyther. Thank you. And on that occasion, was it open for business? Yes. Let me just ask you this. Did you go in an undercover capacity? Yes. And on that occasion, did you make entry? Yes. What was the general business? What was the business activity going on at that point? Appeared to be a typical bar. There was one bartender behind the fixed bar. Patrons were drinking mostly beer. Some were shooting pool. Relatively 10 to 15 patrons. And after you made entry, did you purchase anything to drink? Yes, I did. What did you get? A beer. Okay. And who did you get that from? The bartender was identified to us as Letty. And you consumed some of that beer, I suppose? Yes. So how did the investigation commence on this date? What was the first thing you recall occurring? I recall going into the restroom and observing an unidentified Hispanic male holding a clear plastic bag that contained a white powdery substance, and he was sniffing this substance in the men's restroom. Okay, was that relevant to you in some way in terms of your investigation? Yes. Why would that be relevant? Well, it was the first time we had been at this location, and first time in the restroom I see drug activity. Okay, and so then you make that initial observation of this unknown man. Do you have some kind of communication with him then? No, I didn't really talk to him, but upon him entering the restroom, he handed me the bag containing the white powdery substance and just gave it to me. Okay, and had you asked him for it? No. So what did you do with it? Kept possession of it, eventually, okay, booked it into evidence. All right, that will conclude our Q&A practice. Thank you.